In this video, I'm going to address what you say when you're doing Meridian Tapping EFT, because it's quite important. Now, EFT can be used for a variety of things. In fact, it's so broad, it's incredible. But primarily, my focus is around working with parents and their barriers to being able to be a calm parent and being there for their children. So the barriers are generally emotional. Our ability to remain calm in the face of a storm, our ability to remain calm to our child's often insubordination or outrage at what we've done or said to them, and how do we react to that in a calm way. And often we don't, because all of our emotions from our own childhood of feeling rejected and feeling helpless and out of control come up for us and stop us from being able to be a calm parent. So they're emotional triggers, and that's what I'm going to be dealing with this particular video. So what I want you to do is think of a typical situation, and it might be maybe you're putting your child's dinner in front of them and they've just gone, yuck, I'm not eating that. Or perhaps you've told them it's time for bed and they've suddenly exploded in front of your face. Or it's bath time and they've hit their brother over the head because they're angry and they didn't want to give up their toy and their playtime. So those kinds of emotions, I want you to think of your reaction in that particular point. What would it be? Now, you might not have a name for it. I just want you to focus on the feeling. Think of that moment. Think of that moment and step into it as if you're there, as if you're hearing what they did and say, and if they're expressing themselves and the reaction it had inside of you. And where do you feel that in your body? Is it in your belly? Is it in your chest? Do you feel it in your throat, your head, your back? And then if it had a name for that emotion, what would it be? Anger, frustration, annoyance, out of control, anxiety. Hold on to that emotion, and now what I want you to do is just to start tapping on the side of your hand where the karate chop point is, and say after me, even though I have this emotion, now fill in this emotion with your emotion, even though I have this frustration. And you might fill in why, because they did X, Y, and Z. I accept myself anyway. So all we're doing is acknowledging the emotion of the issue and why, and accepting ourselves anyway. And then at the top of the head, you just repeat what the emotion is. This frustration, or whatever it is for you. This frustration, this emotion, this frustration, collarbone, this frustration. And then you hold the wrist and take a breath in, and breathing out, and say peace. Check in with yourself, back to where that emotion existed before. Is it still the same? Has it shrunk? What was it before? If it was out of 10, 10 being the worst, 0 meaning nothing, what number would you have given it? And what is it now? Has it gone down? Has it stayed the same, or has it gone up? So if it's gone down, fantastic. If it's gone up, then tune in and really check out what that emotion is. A lot of people don't have a vocabulary for their emotions because they weren't brought up with one, and that's perfectly fine. You need to find yourself a list of emotions so that you can start tuning into what you're feeling inside of yourself. If it's gone up, really tune into what it was about that situation that bothers you. Often people say they were angry, but underneath that anger is often a fear of rejection, abandonment, out of control. That's what you need to tap on. Once you've done that at least once, check with your emotion, make sure it goes down, then do it again. Same thing. Even though I have this emotion, I accept myself anyway. This emotion, all the while tuning in to that particular event. This emotion, this emotion, this emotion. Holding the wrist, breathing out and saying peace. And hopefully you'll get it all the way down to 0.